Hi folks, Aline Wilson here, and I'm with Joe Williams, and he's going to talk to us about Parkinson's disease and reindeers. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning to you.
Thanks for letting me come.
I'm glad to have you here. I'm excited. I'm really excited to have a chance to share this project and what it's being done for to support Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you more in a minute.
Well, I remember when you used to do the reindeers. It seems like ever since I've known you, you were doing reindeers. But now it's with a different motive in mind, isn't it?
It is, certainly, and I'll elaborate on that, but I started making these initially in 2005, and I just gave them away, put them in my pocket, and would give them to family and friends and strangers anywhere. It's just fun. And then in 2010, I went up to Chateau Marset with some woof-woof corks made into a reindeer to see if they would consider selling them in their gift shop. They gave me an order for 80 at $5 a piece, $400. I came home, started making them, and all of the fun and joy went out of it because it became a job as I had planned to put the money in my pocket. And with me constantly complaining about having to make these things, my wife Brenda suggested, why don't you donate your sales to the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson Research? Because that same year in 2010, our son at age 47 was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. So ever since 2010, I have been making, selling, and donating 100% of all of my sales to the Fox Parkinson's Foundation. Looking for a cure, that's their tag. We're here until the cure comes. And it's just a labor of love and a passion. I make them year-round. This year I will pass $40,000 in sales of these little things, and had 10,000 in sales last year, and hopefully about 11 or 12,000 in sales this year. I will make over 1,200 reindeer to deliver later in the fall and Christmas season. I have a friend of mine and Brenda's from high school who saw the project, said, Joe, send me 10, and he gave me a $100 bill. I sell these for $10 a piece. And I sent him 10, and that week, this was in October of 21, and then he called a week later and said, send me 10, and then he called a week later and said, send me 40 for my son's business. And as it turns out, this year he will buy a total of, since in 3 years, over 900 reindeer at about close to $10,000. And he gives them away. But he and I both, whenever we present a reindeer, we tell the Parkinson story, mainly our son, and how he has benefited from research that the Fox Foundation has been supporting throughout many years. Michael J. Fox was diagnosed very early age at 26, our son at 47, and that's called early onset. So, a major thing happened in our son's life in 2021, June of 21, in Charleston, South Carolina, where he now lives. He got involved with a movement disorder program at the University of South Carolina School of Medicine, and that led to being accepted into a project that resulted in DBS surgery. It's called deep brain stimulation, where electrodes are planted in a very specific place in the head, in the skull, in the brain. Electrical wires come down to a device in the chest. It's turned on, and we saw video that was made the day he went to have it turned on for the first time, with significant tremors and dyskinesia, which is the head movement. And you hear the surgeon say, his neurologist, "Speed, I'm going to turn it on now." And in about 5 seconds, you hear the doctor say to him, "Speed, where have your tremors gone?" And our son says, "I don't know, but they're gone." And it's just an unbelievable experience to see these tremors, which had affected his life significantly, virtually be eliminated. He could not type or text or hold a glass of water without sloshing it. He does all of that now, no problems. So, I'm a passionate supporter. I get emotional talking about it. We saw our son get his life back right in front of our eyes, and it's very normal today. So I look forward to telling you a little bit more through Aileen's video here, and what the project looks like and what we're doing with it.
Thank you, Joe.
It's good work.
Would you tell us a little bit about yourself? You know, I started this YouTube encouraging older people to find something they were passionate about.
Well, I'm 82 now, but I started 20 years ago. I saw one of these up at a restaurant in Roanoke, bought it and thought it was cute, thought I'd start making it. Then I had fun just giving them away to strangers and Christmas. They make wonderful gifts. And I had been around Studio 107 and the artists there, so I could see their dedications at many levels over a number of years. And I don't know, this thing has just grown on me, and I enjoy the peace and quiet to sit and make them. I'm now making them practically year-round. We're standing in my basement, which has been turned over to Reindeer Central. In addition to the reindeer you're going to see, I have a little ornament with a pad underneath it, and I also make fridge magnets, and I'll show you some of those in a minute.
Show us how you make them.
Okay, can we?
Yep.
Let me show you a couple of things. The name of my project is Wine Cork Reindeer and Ornaments. I'm going to several craft shows, and fortunately at the Smith Mountain Lake Wine Festival at the end of September, and at Spencer Penn September 21 and December 13. So if you have any interest in buying these, you can contact me at my home or cell number or my email address, and we'll discuss how many you want and how I send them. So this is what we're all about. I can make them year-round, but I need to sell them to turn them into dollars for Fox.
Good.
Another
Go ahead.
Another important aspect that's evolved in the last couple of years, we have put a small tag, Compliments of Quality Printing, Larry and Sharon Thurman, who do this at no cost from me, a little tag on the reindeer that describes a little bit about what it's about. And then this year, the Fox organization has created a QR code and a URL that will take you to Team Fox for Joe Williams if you have an interest in making a donation. So we'll encourage you to do that. I mentioned, in addition to the little ornaments, I also do fridge magnets. They're $4 a piece. The ornaments and the reindeer are $10 a piece. But these have very strong magnets in them and will adhere to the fridge.
Show us the picture of your son.
Okay. This is our son in 2021. The picture on the left here, he had had the surgery in June, but the equipment had not been turned on. 5 months later at homecoming in Chapel Hill, this was what he looks like. And this is our son.
A handsome
I have
fella.
right here, I don't know if you want to use this or not, but this was on the day of his surgery in June of 21, prepping, holding the head still, locked in place, and this is where the electrodes were implanted through the skull into a very small place in the brain that controls motor movements.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that with us.
I'll demonstrate the reindeer. It starts with selecting the corks, and I have three. It starts with collecting the corks and prepping them for assembly, but I've arranged these so you can see the parts and the assembly process. But here are 2 pieces. I sand them and drill holes so they're very sturdy. The hot melt glue that I use is almost impossible to break. So I have 2 legs. Then I make a body that will go on top. Then we have a little neck that's angled, and again everything has holes in it for the glue to adhere. And then prepare a head. I've sanded out a flat place, so I'm gluing flat surfaces to flat surfaces to be sturdy, and so that will go on the top. So what that then looks like, here the leg, the body, and the neck has been assembled, and we're missing the head. To put the head on, we apply hot melt glue around the surface and in the drilled hole. Pick up the head, mate it, hold it for gluing, and then it will look like this. Now I've gone ahead and the very next step would put eyes in place, which I've done with this gentleman. And from there, we're ready to dress him. It starts with putting a scarf around the neck, and here's some examples of various fabrics that I have to get some variety. Put a little gold bell underneath. From there, we're going to put a tinsel tail, a little red pom-pom nose, and then a loop, a little hanger loop, 1/8" ribbon. Glue that to the back of the head, then apply the antlers around that and bend them. So that's pretty much the process for making these little guys. The ornament is more complex. I have dangles, little frogs, various and sundry dangles to put on the bottom, a way to decorate beads. Here's an example of some that I might put on an ornament. Put a pad under it, like a tree pad, and then decorate the top of it. And we put this little hang tag
You've already got that.
that we've shown once with the QR code on the back. That's hung on every reindeer and every ornament that we make.
Very good. Now, I understand that Childress is a big contributor.
Well, the The $10,000 or $12,000 that I'll get this year, Childress down in Lexington, North Carolina, has bought these reindeer and ornaments and magnets for, this will be the 7th or 8th year.
And that's Childress Winery.
Childress Winery, the same Richard Childress that has the race car teams. A beautiful place down in Lexington, North Carolina. They will buy about $3,500 worth each year. I have a friend who I mentioned earlier in Greensboro who just loves the project, telling the story, gives them away to strangers, doctor's office, dentist's office, restaurants. It doesn't matter where he is, he always has them. But locally, Teresa Walsh at Walsh's Chicken has sold for 4 or 5 years and will this year. Hamlet Vineyards and Hamlet Kitchen, Virginia Hamlet, has sold for several years. Quality Printing, as I mentioned, is also selling them and doing gratis printing for me. Spa 220 will sell them. Nancy's Candy up near the Parkway in Medicine. This will be the 5th year that Gary Sturm has sold the reindeer up there. About $800 or $900 worth each year. So I've got wide support, always looking for an opportunity to sell them. So again, if you have an interest, they're great gifts, great for family. Give me a call, get in touch, and we'll put some together for you.
Oh. Thank you, Joe. I've enjoyed the visit with you.
Well, I want to thank you for coming and asking about doing this and sharing the word. And I very much appreciate it, as well as our son, who knows what's happening as well. So thank you, Aileen, for letting us reach a broader audience.
Okay. Thank you for watching. That's all for today.